Okay, let us resume the meeting. I call to order again. Sergeant at Arms, please invite the next witness to the witness table.
We can release the first one, Ms. Lu.
Please take a seat. Thank you, Mr. Lim. For the record, please state your name, occupation, and positions that you hold.
Okay, my name is Ling, and I'm self-employed, and I'm a director of my own company.
Okay. The evidence you will be giving today before the committee will be taken on oath. If you so desire, you can also take an affirmation. Clerk, please administer.
I, Ling, do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that the evidence which I shall give before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Please be seated. Thank you. You can take off your mask. The Committee of Privilege is looking into the complaint made by the Leader of the House, Ms. Indrani Raja, against former member of Sengkang GRC, Ms. Raisa Khan, for the breach of privilege. So thank you again for attending today's hearing to give evidence before the committee and to answer the questions which members of the committee may like to put to you. You have taken a solemn obligation to answer our questions truthfully, and you are under oath or affirmation. If you refuse to answer our questions directly or attempt to mislead the committee, such behavior will be an offence and in contempt of this committee. I would like to call on Minister Desmond Lee to proceed with his questions.
Good evening, Mr. Lim. Hi. Thank you for attending and addressing our questions. You are the legislative assistant to the former MP for Sengkang, Ms. Raisa Khan.
That's right.
When did you start in that capacity?
Last year, November.
And are you a member of the Workers' Party? Are you a cadre? Are you a member, volunteer?
Yes, I'm a member of the Workers' Party.
Are you a cadre?
Yes.
Member? Cadre member?
Yes.
And prior to being the legislative assistant for Ms. Raisa Khan, did you hold any other such role, whether it's a secretarial assistant, legislative assistant to any other member of parliament?
No.
No? So it's your first time being in LA? Our understanding of the role of a legislative assistant is set out in the terms of reference when Parliament Secretariat makes that available to all MPs, is that the legislative assistant helps the Member of Parliament with the matters that the MP deals with in Parliament, such as looking at bills, preparing speeches, preparing PQs, and so on, and motions. Could you share with this committee what your specific role was in relation to Ms. Raisa Khan's role as MP?
Okay, for my core duty as a LA in Compassville is actually not so much on doing the parliamentary work, rather it's more on the grassroots activities, festive events, and arranging for house visits and estate walks. So it's a bit different from perhaps the actual legislative assistant's core duty, but it's in a different way serving the community as well.
Okay. So in that regard, did you participate in any way in Ms. Raisa Khan's work as a legislator, as a parliamentarian, for example, draft of questions for PQ, draft of speeches, help to vet? Did you play any part in that?
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when Ms. Raisa Khan, writes or prepares a speech, you're not involved in any way?
No, I'm not involved.
You would know that on the 3rd of August, or would you know on the 3rd of August, Ms. Raisa Khan made a speech in Parliament during a motion led by members Ms. Herting-Roo and Mr. Leon Pereira about women empowerment?
I only learned about it through the media.
And when did you find out about that speech? Was it on the day itself, a few days later?
A few days later. Because I don't usually follow the proceedings. Yeah. So usually it's after perhaps on reports, or maybe sometimes it's snippets from CNA and stuff like this. Yep.
And in relation to that speech on the 3rd of August in Parliament, pursuant to that motion on women empowerment, Ms. Khan had said that in relation to the police, that she had accompanied a sexual assault victim, 25 years old, some 3 years ago, to the police station to make the report, and that the survivor had come out of the police station crying and saying that the police had passed some statements about her drinking and about her attire.
Right.
You aware of that?
Also through the media.
Through the media.
Yes.
And when you read the media, would you also have noticed that the MP whom you serve had been asked by the Minister of State for Home Affairs, Mr. Desmond Tan, asking Ms. Khan for substantiation, information about this case so that the police could investigate and put things right? You read that in the media as well?
Okay, I didn't actually go through everything. So I briefly knew that there was this exchange going on, but actually the details I'm actually quite vague on it.
Yes, but broadly, you were aware that there was some question by Home Affairs
Yes.
about her allegations about the police and that she'd been asked in Parliament. You broadly knew that.
Sort of. I know there was some exchanges, or rather exchanges going on, but the details, I didn't actually read into the article and finish the whole article, but I knew that there was this thing going on and there was some exchanges, and I think that's about it.
Did you speak to Ms. Khan about those exchanges?
No, actually, I did not ask her. I don't have a practice to actually check back on the MPs on speeches or stuff that actually happened in Parliament.
Okay,
Yeah.
you see your role more as a kind of a estate issues, residence issues.
Right.
But since 3rd August till now, for instance, since you operate on the ground, I'm sure in the branch, in the meet the residents, did anyone ask you, with regards to this matter, that hey, our MP had made some allegations about the police and it was in the media? Did anyone speak to you about that?
Yes. Not say speak to me, but then they did brought this thing up, and then of course I will direct the answering part to Ms. Khan to actually address them.
Okay, and she addressed them directly to the resident, or did she address them through you?
No, to the resident.
She would go direct to the resident.
Yes.
Which means to say that you would refer the resident, the details, contact number, and the question they raised to her, and she
no.
will go back to them.
When it usually happens when we go on our estate walks.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm talking specifically about the 3rd of August and the allegation against the police. No residents raised it to you. They only raised municipal issues.
Not that I've come, of
Right,
course. Yes.
No other volunteers asked you about it.
Volunteers, no.
No. Okay. Subsequently, on the 4th of October, Ms. Khan again was in Parliament, and it was widely reported in the media and in social media that the Home Affairs Minister, Minister Shanmugam, had asked her again about her allegation against the police made on the 3rd of August, asking her for information about which police station, what year, what month, who were the police officers involved. Did you read that in the media as well, or did you hear it from Ms. Khan or any other volunteers or cadres or members?
Okay, I do know that this thing took place again because it was quite a thing on the news. But it's like I thought it was a follow up on previous exchanges, so I didn't really read into it and really go into the details. Yeah.
Subsequently, on the 20th of October, you would probably have read in the newspapers that the police had said that they had approached Ms. Raisa Khan to ask her to meet them, to help them with their checks on
Sorry, can you repeat
on the
again?
20th of October, 2021.
Okay.
You would probably have read in the media, and you can confirm whether you were aware that the police had reached out to Ms. Khan to ask for a meeting and that she had not replied them. Were you aware of that media or
No,
release or not?
This part I don't think I actually read the thing. I'm not.
You were not
Yeah,
aware.
I'm not
So
certain on it.
up to today, you didn't know that the police have put out a statement about Ms. Khan's inviting Ms. Khan to meet them on the allegations.
No, I don't recall.
You don't
Yeah,
recall, huh?
sorry.
You didn't read it, or you
No, okay.
You might read it and you don't recall.
I don't follow everything to the
media.
detail. So yeah, because mostly my work is to handle the constituency work and then to get to do mostly grassroots. So I mean the parliamentary exchanges actually to be honest I don't really follow.
You don't follow.
Yeah, unless there's a big news or something that is more something big that's happening and like that may require certain attention, then perhaps I might look into it more in details.
Are you aware of one Miss Loh Pei Ying and one Mr. Yudhishthra Nathan? Are you familiar with them? Are you acquainted with them?
Miss Low is Miss Khan's SA.
Yes.
I know her.
And Mr. Yudhishthra Nathan?
Mr. Yudish, I know him, but not very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at any point in time between the 3rd of August and today, did you speak to any one of them about the issue that is the subject matter of today's hearing, the statements made in Parliament by
Yes.
Ms. Raisa Khan?
I did check with paying on like what's actually going on, because I'm actually not very in tune with the happenings and stuff like this. So because since I've been asked to come here, so I actually need to check like, so what actually do I need to prepare or perhaps read up on and stuff like this.
So you talked about this matter to them only recently and not much earlier?
No.
Would you be aware of the 1st of November 2021 parliamentary sitting where Ms. Raisa Khan made a statement, a personal explanation in Parliament, saying that on both the 3rd of August as well as on the 4th of October, she had said things in Parliament that were untrue and that she was now clarifying the truth? Were you aware of that media
Yes.
statements and the social media about it?
On the 1st of November, that I actually followed on it. Yeah.
Okay. And you watched it live, or you watched it in the news, or you
no.
watched it read it on social media?
Read it on article, news article.
Online articles?
Yes.
What was your reaction?
I was like, it's good that, I mean, she actually took the courage to stand up and actually share that no, there are certain misrepresentation, and actually I personally applaud her for it. You know, I mean, if we all make mistakes, so if a mistake has been made, it's always good to come back up and, you know, admit it and try to correct whatever is wrong and move on from there.
Yeah. So on the 1st of November, it would have focused your mind that Ms. Khan had not once but on 2 separate occasions made false statements to Parliament. Was that your understanding on 1st November? Because that was what she said in Parliament.
Sorry, I don't really actually recall the actual words, but my attention was actually on the apology.
Right.
That she actually made an apology for misrepresentation, and yeah, that was what I remember reading.
So at no point in time prior to 1st November did you discuss this matter with Ms. Khan or Pei Ying or Mr. Nathan or any other person?
No.
No.
I was not involved in the discussion. Yep.
Yeah. You would, of course, by now be aware that Ms. Khan had resigned as a member of Parliament and a member of the Workers' Party.
Yes.
Did she discuss that with you or say anything to you about that?
She actually briefly called me. Like I can't remember, but I think it was like in the afternoon on the day that she had actually intended to resign, and just sort of you know, sound me out and let me know that, look, this is happening, and yep, it most probably will happen. Yep.
Maybe I'll take you to the Secretary General of the Workers' Party statement dated 1st November 2021, which is before you, and Clark would just show it to you. And given that you're not you're her LA, but not privy to all the discussions that have been going on.
Yep.
Maybe just share your immediate reaction. What would you make of such a statement?
So when was this?
This is dated 1st November.
Media statement.
Yes.
Oh.
The Secretary General statement. Ms. Raisa Khan should not have shared an account that contained untruths in the House.
Also, both of this?
Maybe you read the first one first.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very short. The second one is dated 2nd November, which is the Workers' Party media statement, forming a disciplinary panel.
Yeah.
And what's your immediate reaction to the first statement? I presume you've not read it before too. This is your first time reading it?
I don't remember seeing this.
So you're reading it for the first time?
Yeah.
So as a party cadre and as the legislative assistant of Ms. Khan, no doubt you do municipal issues, but you are her right-hand man.
Yes.
Reading this statement from your Secretary General as a cadre, what is your immediate reaction of this?
I think that the SG actually did right, and it is right for him to actually put this statement out.
Right.
Yeah.
And reading this as a cadre, would your impression be that the party leadership was unaware of Ms. Khan's falsehoods to Parliament until this time?
This I cannot be sure because it doesn't say anything,
Doesn't
and
say.
yeah, I'm not privy to it.
Okay.
Yes.
But as a cadre member, just looking at it, would your impression be that the leadership is only recently finding out about this falsehoods?
I prefer not to speculate.
Not to speculate. Thank you.
Yes.
And the other statement on the disciplinary panel, you would see in the second paragraph that the panel comprises 3 of your leaders, Secretary General, Chairman, and Vice Chairman. And they will form a panel, disciplinary panel, to hear and inquire into Ms. Raisa Khan's conduct.
Yes.
Again, any immediate reaction to that as a party cadre?
Again, I would say that it's a right move because, of course, it's accountability, and I believe that this is something that has to be done, and yeah, I believe it has already been done.
And as a party cadre, you would, reading this, be confident that the members of the panel would have nothing to do with the falsehoods that were made. That they would be impartial and fair to Ms. Khan. Would that be your assumption?
I would believe
You would
so.
think so?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions, Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Lim.
Thank you. Mr. Grace.
Thank you, Mr. Lim. Mr. Lim, I believe your role as the legislative assistant put you in very close contact to Ms. Khan, and I'm sure her well-being is also something that you are concerned with. Ms. Khan told us earlier that actually she has been very troubled by the various exchanges in the Parliament. Do you see that in her being very troubled by what she has said, and then the kind of question that she has received from the public?
Okay. Going by that stance, yes, she is definitely affected, and to some extent, I think it's actually she doesn't really show it a lot when it's in public and things like this, but definitely when I speak to her, and you can hear from her tone that she is affected by it.
So earlier
Yes.
on, I think Mr. Lim, Desmond Lim, has talked about several instances. The first one was a speech that she made in the parliament. The second one was actually on the same day she was asked to clarify. She didn't. And then there was a subsequent speech where she was asked again by Minister for Home Affairs, Shanmugam, about, details, and she didn't give. Did you find that she had showed some concerns in the second round, or her responses were the same?
Sorry, but I do not take notice, and I do not take notice
Oh,
of that one.
actually, there wasn't any difference on the ground. There weren't any residents coming forward to ask her a bit more about why didn't she respond or why didn't she reply. Was there? Do you feel any change in?
No, there wasn't really any marked changes to it. Yes.
So later on, she also told us that at a certain date, she was given an email by the police to basically give details. Did you find that she has any, did she display any outward signs of concerns over that?
Not that I'm aware of.
You're not aware of
Yes.
also? Okay. So eventually she decided to make the statement on the 1st November, admitting that, she has told a lie. Did she share with you that she intends to do so before that?
On the one day before, she actually supposed to. I'm not sure whether is it to file the statement or something, but she did share with me a draft on it that she's going to say this in Parliament.
Oh, she shared a draft of a
Yes.
speech with you.
Yes.
And how do you assess that? Was she, very, what's her mental state? Was she very serious? Was she very worried? Was she very anxious?
Anxious, I believe, yes. But the beyond the anxious part, perhaps some of the languages, some of the wordings inside there is, I just make some suggestions to her, and yeah. But I mean, in a general sense, I do not actually how should I put it? I don't interfere. Yeah.
When you make those suggestions to her, do you find that she was able to take in your suggestions, or you find that she's basically made up her mind about that speech?
I believe more or less she would have really made up her mind on it. Yes.
Did she tell you that this is a speech that she has discussed with leadership of the party, or this is just her draft?
I did not ask, and I'm not aware of whether is it been discussed with other party leaders or any of those. Yeah.
Were you surprised that the next day what Mr. Desmond Lim has shown you about the statement from the party and also the formation of the disciplinary panel?
Formation of disciplinary panel, no. I'm not surprised of that. Actually, in fact, I was looking forward to see, hoping that the party will actually set up a disciplinary panel. Yeah.
Why were you happy to see that, or you're hoping? Why do you hope to see that?
No, because it's not about happy, all right? It's more about to be able to do an investigation on our own and find out what actually went on, and perhaps get a closure from it.
Did you ask her yourself and find out for yourself, since you're so close to her?
No, this I actually I do not, as I said, I do not interfere, so that in any case, my judgment or anything will not be affected.
So when you say that you hope to see a disciplinary panel being formed, were you hoping that it will clear her name, or you were hoping that they will find her guilty of what she has done?
Neither of those, but I just hope in hope of the panel being formed, to get the truth out, whichever it is.
So if we tell you now that the panel that's formed are the same three persons that has discussed her speeches with her, do you find that as inappropriate? Because if it's about truth that the panel should come up with, do you find that's appropriate?
I will not say appropriate, inappropriate, but I believe the impartiality of the party leaders, and it is their duty to be impartial. Yes.
So if the party leaders have been involved in advising Ms. Khan throughout, should they be the same people that is in the disciplinary panel?
Okay, I cannot speculate because I'm not sure what actually transpired, but as I said earlier, okay, so this thing, I believe the party leaders will have to be impartial, even if they have discussed this thing beforehand. They have to, yes.
So do you, now that Ms. Khan has to resign, do you talk to her about whether this is something that, a decision that she made on her own, or she has been advised, or you think it's a fair outcome for her?
Whether is it a fair outcome, I believe I'm not in a position to say, but I'm quite sure that this is her decision, because before that she actually called me up and told me that it's gonna happen and it most probably will happen.
Do you ask her why she has to resign?
I did not go into the details because I can hear from her voice that she's actually disappointed and sad. So I just took it at face value, and yeah, that's it.
She's a person that you have worked with very closely. You have been trying very hard to, you work very hard to, it's your role to try to connect her with the ground and to have her resign. Didn't you try to ask her why?
We actually talked of this thing before the resignation thing actually came on. So on and off, we actually have some conversation on this thing and discussion on this, like what are the probabilities and what if it come to pass and stuff like this. So, I shared my view with her quite many times beforehand. So I believe it will be her decision, and I leave it up to her. If she finds that this is the best course of action, I will support it. Yes.
What were your views that you shared with her? Because earlier you told us that you didn't go into details, you leave it to her. But now you tell us that you shared your views many times with her. So what have you
During the so-called after the disciplinary panel has been set up, and also because of certain things that we understand, like what is happening from public. We read the Facebook posts and stuff like this, and we also see what's happening on the social medias. So sometimes it's that I will just share with her, like, perhaps we might have a bigger problem at hand, and there might come a point like you either have to resign, or there might be some drastic action that you have to take. And yeah, we do discuss when all the news and social media stuff when it comes in. Yep.
So you find that her decision to resign has been there, or you find that there's been a change in her decision?
That I cannot speak for her, because she has never told me her actual view or what she's actually intending to do. Yep.
But you have just said that you discussed the option of resignation.
No, not the option of resignation, but to just share that perhaps there might be a probability like this might go to this particular direction.
And what was her response to that?
Her response was to look at the situation and work with whatever is available. That's what I get from her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other question, Mr. Donry.
Hi, Mr. Lim.
Hi.
To the best of your knowledge, right, does Workers' Party have a very strict protocols for their MPs to follow or procedures to follow in the event their MPs face challenging situations. So let me repeat. Does Workers' Party have a strict set of protocols or procedures for their MPs to follow in the event they face difficult situations?
Facing difficult situation in the sense that is in this during constituency walkabout, or is it what's the
Any, or in this context, do you think your party leadership is well aware?
I actually do not have the I do not have the details, okay, on the party leadership, but on the ground we do have some response to work with on the division level. Yes.
Okay, if there are no further questions for now, we would like to thank you for coming before the committee. Transcript of the proceedings will be shared with you for verification, so do go through it. If you have any amendments, please do make changes and send the transcripts back to us. Do note that the transcripts and any evidence given to the committee are not to be disclosed to anyone or published and must be kept strictly confidential until the committee has presented its report to Parliament, meaning that you're also not to discuss what transpired here with others as well. So with that, our staff can accompany you to the waiting room. So once again, thank you very much.
Right,
Sergeant Adams, please accompany the witness out. Thank you.